All right. Hi. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in to this next session where we're going to have a fireside chat on how E.ON Next uses customer feedback to shape product features. My name is Natalia. I'm the head of product marketing here at Chattermill, and I'm very delighted to welcome our special guest, Nuur, product lead at E.ON Next. Hi, Mo.
Hi, good afternoon. It's an honor to be here.
Hi. And I hope it's actually going to be a very interesting conversation because I had a pleasure to meet you, Mo, some time ago. We actually built a success story together, and we talk about so many great examples of how customer feedback can not only improve the user experience and help product managers prioritize what to build next, but also how it can really move the needle when it comes to those key metrics like NPS or the volume of customer contact. And that was really incredible, those examples that you shared with us. So I hope you can share some of those today with our audience as well. I'm really looking forward to these. But before we go there, I think we all would love to hear a little bit about yourself, about the company, and maybe if you could tell us about the key areas of responsibility for your product teams at E.ON Next.
Absolutely. I'd be delighted to. So, yeah, my name is Nuur and I lead the digital product team at E.ON Next. Our mission is to create an energy future that is both clean and customer focused. I see our work as empowering customers to embrace a simpler, greener way of living, whether that means making it easier to track your energy usage or switch to renewables or simply feel more confident about the energy choices that you're making on a daily basis. In terms of key areas of responsibility and sort of kind of focus within our team, so we mainly focus on three main areas. So the first one would be to turn complex energy management, such as understanding and paying your bill, understanding your usage, and shifting your usage into maybe more greener time of the day, into simple, convenient, and user-friendly customer experiences. Then I would say, secondly, it's about keeping our gaze on the horizon, and it's about anticipating shifts in customer needs and sustainability. So I like to keep a balance between serving customers today's needs and then planting the seeds for the future.
Nice. So is that safe to say that the area that you're looking into when it comes to the user experience, is it mainly E.ON Next website and your apps, or is there something else?
So within our team, it's mainly the eonnext.com website, and it's the E.ON Next customer facing mobile applications.
Okay, nice. That's great to hear. So just for the context, I think many product teams know that it is really vital to analyze user feedback, but you guys, E.ON Next, has over 5 million customers. So I think scaling this process of analyzing user feedback for that amount of customers can be really, really tough and challenging. So can you tell us a little bit, how were you handling that process or handling user feedback before you started using Chattermill? What were your major challenges, I guess?
Great, that's a great question. So you're bringing me back to I'd almost like to say the dark ages before Chattermill. So before Chattermill, we gathered feedback through many different channels, surveys, support tickets, social media channels, and so on. Very manual. And if I were to compare it to sort of kind of analogy for the audience, it's almost like listening to a very noisy room without having a way to filter all the different chatter. So
Mm.
we risk being swayed by whoever spoke the loudest instead of hearing a steady pulse of the entire customer base at scale. So it became really, really clear to us that we needed a better way to see the to see the bigger picture, and able to sort of kind of cut through the noise.
Yeah, and I think that's something that we've been hearing from a lot of our customers, that it's so easy to focus on like only a fragment, right? Only some pieces of customer feedback because you can't really without any AI tools, you can't really like monitor the entire user experience and all the feedback from hundreds or thousands of customer interactions. So I think many of our some of our audience could definitely relate to that. So my next question is, what about today? Now that you've got Chattermill, what are the data sources that you've integrated with the platform? What are the kind of sources of feedback that you're monitoring with Chattermill today? And what kind of metrics do you monitor with that?
Absolutely. So the way we use Chattermill is because it weaves together feedback from emails, the App Store reviews, support tickets, NPS surveys, social media, and so on. We watch these metrics like sentiment scores, topic trends is one of the key ones. So when I talk about sentiment score, the detractors, the positive sentiments, the neutral sentiments, but also trends specifically after certain events, like when we launch a new feature or when there's a new price cap or we will launch a new tariff. And we also look at how these launches and features align and what impact it has, mainly on NPS, churn rates, but also the digital engagement level is also really, really important. And the key for us is it's not about just measuring these numbers, but understanding what they reveal about customers, deeper ones and worries. Because every single feedback, it's not a number behind it, but it's a real human with real needs and real wants.
That's very interesting, and thanks for sharing that. You mentioned monitoring feedback, for example, after product launches, right? Or launching new features, updates. And I was really wondering if you could share maybe a little bit more how Chattermill is integrated into your kind of day-to-day, maybe which teams are involved and how is it shaping your decision-making process?
So it's absolutely woven into our daily routine, specifically into the digital product management routine and our designers. And it touches everything from design sprints. So whenever we have design sprint, we have a section within our that design sprint whiteboard dedicated to all the feedback that we were able to extract from Chattermill, down to how we prioritize digital product development. So it actually helps us sort of kind of inform the way we prioritize our roadmap by looking at what we can learn from Chattermill. So the product team is constantly looking at Chattermill to try to spot patterns, as well as our data analyst and digital analyst. For example, there could be a spike in complaints about a digital touch points where we need to be able to react really, really quickly to it. Or maybe there's a new feature that isn't delighting customers as we were anticipating, and being able to collect that data at scale instead of guessing and relying on real data to guide our choices. And then over time, logging into Chattermill has become a habit of many members of the team. The same way, just logging into Gmail and looking at, have you got any important emails from stakeholders, just become part of your culture. And yeah, it's part of the culture of our sort of kind of customer centric culture. And we use it sort of kind of as a compass to help everyone align on what customers truly need.
That's so great to hear, and thanks for sharing that because it shows that user feedback can be used actually at every stage of the product development process, right?
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned a lot of teams. What about senior stakeholders? Now that you've got, solid data, quantified results, is it easier for you to convince senior stakeholders about some of the projects maybe that you're trying to incorporate in the product roadmap or anything like that?
Yeah, of course. With any one of the best ways to increase your own credibility and to manage upwards is to show data. So you're not being opinion led, but we are trying to change. We are trying to solve problems that would generally move the needle for the business. We are trying to deliver on problems that will move KPIs, and we've got the data to show it. it absolutely makes the conversation significantly more easy.
That's so great to hear. Let's talk about a little bit now about those examples that I mentioned at the beginning. Could you share any, I don't know, standout insights that you've maybe uncovered through Chattermill that really made a difference or that really impacted your product roadmap? I know because you've told me about that. I know that you've launched things like Billy and Smarty. So if you could maybe share those examples with our audience as well, that would be incredible.
Yeah, of course. I'll definitely touch upon Billy. And I know we haven't got enough time. Otherwise, I would have touched upon all our products because I love them all. Instead of Billy, I'll probably talk about the direct debit education tool because we got some really, really awesome results that was facilitated through the data that we got from Chattermill. So one of the things that we discovered a while back is just how important it is to just simplify billing charges and payments where to our customers. Now, the billing touchpoint is an incredibly important touchpoint for some of our customers. It's their only touchpoints. They log onto the app or the website to have a look at their latest payments or the latest billing. So even the most minor confusion around, is this money that I have paid in, or was it money that was put back into mine? How does it link back into how much I'm already paying monthly and my usage? It means that you can really erode customer trust really quickly if they get confused. And so we saw this trend in Chattermill around billing confusion. And the other discovery was around, so customers join us and we provide them with a quote, but at that moment we don't know what their real user is going to be. So we run a payment adequacy check from time to time, just to make sure that customers are still paying the right amount of money on a monthly basis. And sometimes we reduce their monthly direct debit if we can see that they are using less usage than we anticipated, and sometimes we increase it. So what we found in Chattermill, that a lot of customers were confused as to why we were increasing or reducing their monthly direct debits.
Hmm.
Listening really careful of as to and really being able to go deep into Chattermill, where they're confused about was about the language, was about the fuels. We realized that we're not really doing a good job ourselves to provide customers with the insights that they are needing and wanting, so that when they are looking at their direct debit adjustments or they're looking at their payments and billing, they can really trust this. And for me and for us, it's really a way to show genuine respect to your customers.
This is very interesting. Obviously, as you mentioned, the billing experience, this is one of the most important touch points, right, throughout the user journey. Do you think you would be able to discover that there was some confusion around it without a tool like Chattermill?
I mean, I won't go as far as saying no. So I'd probably flip the question to, would we be able to uncover all those deep insights as rapidly and
Mm,
at scale
mm.
as we could with Chattermill? And then absolutely not.
So it's all about also the speed of insights, right? That also matters.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about what kind of actions did you take based on these findings?
Yeah, so around billing and payments clarity, we turn the traditional PDF bill. So before Billy, which is the internal code name for this feature, customers will log in online, and when they get to the billing touchpoint, they would just view the traditional static PDF bill. And we turn that into an interactive digital bill. We then stripped away any jargon. We made sure that the payment steps were felt very, very clear. We made sure that we really broke down their usage and linked it back to their monthly payment so that customers could really feel in control. In terms of direct debit adjustment confusion, we built a direct debit tool. Uh,
Mm,
the tool was essentially a simple educational feature that showed with graphs. Look, here's how much paying. Here's how much we thought you're going to be using. And then by guiding customers through each step of that calculations, then they could really understand how we came with that final sort of kind of direct debit recommendation to help them stay on top of their finances and avoid being in unexpected debt.
This is incredible. So if I understand it right, you basically transformed a traditional PDF bill into a digital experience where customers can now easily understand where those calculations basically and prices come from,
Mm-hmm.
which I imagine is an incredible enhancement in the user experience. Have you seen any measurable results or anything change in your key metrics since you've implemented those changes?
Yeah, absolutely. The results have been amazing. So on Billy, we saw a 48% increase in the online billing chai, which is a incredibly difficult KPI to increase because all you're showing customers, hey, here's how much we charge you for your energy usage this month. But to see a 48% increase in chai for that touch point was incredible. Also, it led to our best ever year in terms of the overall billing journey net promoter score. Billy had a huge contribution to that. So in the history of the company, the best journey NPS that we've seen. In terms of the direct debit tool, it boosted Chai for direct debit comprehension by 94% versus control. And it also significantly reduced down the number of complaints and calls that we got from customers around, hey, I don't understand why my direct debit is being adjusted. But those are just metrics. For us, the real reward is hearing customers say, this just makes sense now. And that's really for us where we get the pride.
Wow, this is really incredible. Congratulations, obviously, on these results. And just for clarity for the audience, by CHAI, you mean Customer Happiness Index, is that right?
Yes.
And by the reducing customer contacts, you probably mean also reducing the number of emails and calls that
Yes.
your customer support team was receiving. Okay, that was amazing. Congratulations. I think we still have time if you'd like to share any other examples. That's up to you.
Those are the two examples of, I think, are,
Okay.
are the best ones. Yeah.
Okay, no worries. That's incredible already.
We can talk about Smarty. So Smarty, so we discovered in Chattermill that for customers whose smart meters gets disconnected. So traditionally, smart meters, they're not built in a way where you are supposed to read a manual read to send it because it's a smart meter. It automatically sends a reading. So it's a very different product from a traditional non-smart meter. But sometimes what can happen is that a smart meter disconnects. So during that period, we ask customers to send a reading so they can receive an accurate bill. So we learned through Chattermill that for a lot of customers, the instructions to get to your read in a disconnected smart meter was really, really complex and really difficult.
Mm.
Insight led to a product called Smarty, where we built, which is a companion feature on the app, where you can take the app and then you can physically walk to your smart meter, and it will detect which smart meter you have, and it will show you step by step what buttons you need to tap on to get to your read. And from a results perspective, meter reads submitted from non-communicating smart meter just skyrocketed significantly versus control, which is amazing because that is the enabler for customers to receive an accurate bill.
Wow, once again, congratulations. And it's another great example showing that user feedback is actually a gold mine of
Mhm.
ideas, right, for the product roadmap. It helps you prioritize what are actually the things that you need to improve or fix or launch next and include that in your product roadmap and your strategy. So this is amazing that your guys are so close to your customers and really listening to that feedback. I guess my next question is just to wrap maybe everything up and summarize, what would you say are the biggest benefits for teams within E.ON Next, especially for product teams, of
Mhm.
using Chattermill or of using an AI tool for analyzing customer feedback?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say, to sum it up, um, without a clear view of customer sentiment at scale, so not just what five customers are telling you, not 500 or 5,000, but in our world, 5 million customers and over 5 million customers, you could risk end up making decisions in the dark
Mm,
or become opinionated. You might chase shiny ideas while missing the silent signals that truly matter. These signals there, if you were to pursue these ones, it will really move the needle from both a customer and business perspective. And with that, if you are chasing decisions in the dark and you're just chasing shiny ideas that can erode trust with your customer, you'll be wasting effort, internal tech effort, and you're also fostering confusion amongst internal stakeholders for why are we not hitting KPIs and metrics. And once all of this happens, trust slips away, both internally and with your customers. And it's a steep climb to get back. So it's incredibly, incredibly important that as product teams, we are able to tap into these insights at scale so we can avoid these risks.
So it's also, I guess, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's also about the clarity and also the decision making, right? Backed with solid data instead of making assumptions and relying on your gut feeling when it comes to building new products and features for your audience, for your customers. So that's incredible. That I'm really glad that we can help you in such a way. What would you say? What risks do you think product teams face if they don't have a tool like that?
Yeah, so as I said earlier, it's about the risk are that you're making decisions in the dark. The risks are that you're making decisions based on maybe a handful of customers.
Mm,
Going back to the analogy of a very loud room, you may only be listening to the person with the loudest voice rather than what's the whole room saying, right?
mm,
It's really difficult, almost impossible to do without having a mechanic to sort of kind of filter and collect things at scale and to help synergize that into a sentiment, right? And that will then also trickle down to making uninformed product roadmap decisions, which then lead into us not being able to hit on our business and customer KPIs.
yeah, that makes totally sense. Thanks for sharing that. My last question, Mo. Looking at the future, maybe, what's your next major goal, I guess, where customer insights will play a key role?
That's a great question. So, from our perspective, we are working extremely hard every single day to make energy management feel seamless, where insights to customers, for example, into usage and savings, come to customers intuitively, almost before they realize they even need them. For us, it's about moving from being reactive to providing customers with proactive guidance so they can really, really sort of kind of tap into sustainability and renewable and reduce their bills. So none of that would work if we're not tuned into real customer feedback and real customer needs and understanding what's keeping them up at night. So their voices provided to us in real time, it's guiding us to shape the next wave of energy products that can actually really change people's lives.
Sounds incredible. Sounds like you are incorporating that voice of the customer at absolutely every single decision that you're making within the product function. So thank you so much, and congratulations. Obviously, it sounds like you're one of the most customer obsessed and centered companies within the energy sector. So congratulations. Mo, thank you so much once again for your time and all these great insights that you shared with us, all these great examples that you shared with us today. And once again, huge, obviously, congratulations on the results, because the results your team achieved are absolutely impressive. I'll just repeat those as a summary. You launched Billy and Smarty, two incredible apps for your customers and users. You improved the customer happiness index by 48%, which is amazing. And then reduced the number of customer contacts, especially phone calls, by 5.5%. That's obviously incredible. So thank you so much. Thanks to everyone who joined us today. If you're curious to hear more from Mo, we actually have a case study and success story that we did together some time ago. It's available on our website. There's also a video with Mo, so go ahead and check it out. And for those of you with any questions, just please feel free to leave them in the chat, and we'll make sure to follow up and get back to your questions via email after that session. Once again, thank you so much, Mo. Take care, and I'll see you next time.
Take it. Bye bye.